Problem 1. Winners and losers have the same goals. Goal setting suffers from a serious case of survivorship bias. We, concent- we concentrate on the people who end up winning, the survivors, and mistakenly assume that ambitious goals led to their success while overlooking all of the people who had the same objective but didn't succeed. Every Olympian wants to win a gold medal. Every candidate wants to get a job. And if successful and unsuccessful people share the same goals, then the goal cannot be differentiates then the goal cannot be what differentiates the winners from the losers. It wasn't the goal of winning the Tour de France that propelled the British cyclists to the top of the sport. Presumably, they had wanted to win the race every year before, just like every other professional team. The goal had be- the goal had always been there. It was only when they implemented a system of continuous small improvements that they achieved a different outcome. Problem number 2. Achieving a goal is only a momentary change. Imagine you have a messy room and you set a goal to clean it. If if you summon the energy to tidy up, then you will have a clean room for now. But if you want but if you maintain the same sloppy, pack rat habits that led to a messy room in the first place, soon you'll be looking at a new pile of clutter and hoping for another burst of motivation. You're left chasing you're left chasing the same outcome before you never change the system behind it. You treated a symptom without addressing the cause. Achieving a goal only changes your life for the moment. That's the counter that's the counterintuitive thing about improvement. We think we need to change our results, but the results are not the problem. What we really need to change are the systems that cause those results. When you solve problems at the results level, you only solve them temporarily. In order to improve for good, you need to solve problems at the systems level. Fix the inputs and outputs will fix themselves. Fit the inputs and the outputs will fix themselves. Problem number 3. Goals restricts Goals restrict your happiness. The implicit assumption behind any goal is this: once I reach my goal, then I'll be happy. The problem with a goals first mentality is that you're continually putting happiness off until the next milestone. I've slipped into this trap so many times I've lost count. For, for years, happiness was always something for my future self to enjoy. I promised myself that once I gained 20 pounds of muscle, or after my business was featured in the New York Times, then I would finally relax. Furthermore, goals create an either or conflict. Either you achieve your goal and are successful or you fail and you are disappointment. You mentality you mentally box yourself into a narrow version of happiness. This is misguided. It is unlikely that your actual path through life will match the exact journey you had in mind when you set out. It makes no sense to restrict your satisfaction to one scenario when there are many paths to success. A systems first mentality provides the antidote. When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. You can be satisfied anytime your system is running. And a system can be successful in many different forms, not just the one you first envisioned. Problem number 4. Goals are at odds with long term progress. Finally, a goal oriented mindset can create a yo yo effect. Many runners work hard for months, but as soon as they cross the finish line, they stop training. The race is no longer there to motivate them. When all your hard work when all your hard work is focused on a particular goal, what is left is to push you forward after you achieve it. This is why many people find themselves reverting to their old habits after accomplishing a goal. The purpose of setting goals is to win the game. The purpose of building systems is to continue playing the game. True long term thinking is goalless thinking. It's not about any single accomplishment. It's about the cycle of endless refinement and continuous continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Ultimately, it is your commitment to the process that will determine your progress. A system of atomic habits. If you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you. The problem is your system. Bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you don't have to change, but because you have the wrong system for change. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fell to the level of your systems. Focusing on the overall system rather than a single goal is one of the core themes of this book. It is also one of the deeper meanings behind the word atomic. By now, you've probably realized that an atomic habit refers to a tiny change, a marginal gain, a 1% improvement. But atomic habits are not just any old habits, however small. They are little habits that are part of a larger system. Just as atoms are built blocks of molecules, atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. Habits are like the atoms of our lives. Each one is fundamental unit that contributes to your overall improvement. At first, this tiny routine seems insignificant, but soon they build on each other and fuel bigger wins that multiply to a degree that far outweighs the cost of their initial investment. They are both small and mighty. This is the meaning of the phrase atomic habits, a regular practice or routine that is not only small and easy to do, but also the source of incredible power, a component of the system that compound growth. Chapter Summary. Habits are compound interest of self-improvement. Getting 1% every day counts for a lot in the long run. Habits are a double-edged sword. They can work for you or against you, which is why understanding the details is essential. Small changes often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold. The most powerful outcomes of any compounding process are delayed. You need to be patient. An atomic habit is a little habit that is part of a larger system. Just as atoms are the building blocks of molecules, atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. If you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fell to the level of your systems.